Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into an incredible story from 17th century West Africa. It's all about leadership, sacrifice, and one man who made an absolutely unimaginable choice for his people. So here's the question. Why would a king choose to die for his people? Now, this isn't some kind of riddle. It was a real choice a real leader had to make. And you know what? His answer literally shaped the destiny of an entire nation. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in the late 1600s, and the Asante kingdom, they're on the very brink of war. They're facing this huge existential threat from the super aggressive and powerful Denkyiras kingdom. All right, so in any great story, you've got your key players, right? Well, here they are. First up, Barima Tweneboa Kodua. He's the chief at the absolute heart of our story. Then you've got his king, Nana Osetutu, and their adversary, the formidable Denkyiras of the Denkyiras. And let's not forget the influential high priest Okomfo Anoki. Seriously, everything that's about to happen comes down to the choices these four men make. You know, this whole thing didn't just happen overnight. It was more like a pot that had been simmering for years, just building up pressure. But the final straw, the breaking point, it was an absolutely outrageous demand from the Denkyiras king. He didn't just want gold. No, he demanded the wives of the Asante chiefs. I mean, can you imagine? This was the ultimate insult designed to completely shatter their dignity. At that point, war wasn't just likely, it was inevitable. So let's talk about Tweneboa Kodua, the man at the very center of this storm. Who was he really? Well, lucky for us, we can get a pretty good idea from his own words. There are these proverbs that are attributed to him, and they really pull back the curtain on a brilliant strategic mind. Take this first one. An army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Wow. I mean, that tells you everything right there, doesn't it? For him, it all came down to leadership. A strong, decisive leader was the single most important thing, the one factor that could totally turn the tide. And then there's this one. It's only a dead man who has everybody on his side. This just shows you how pragmatic he was. He got it. He knew that being a real leader means you can't please everybody all the time. You have to make tough, even unpopular calls. It wasn't about a popularity contest for him. It was about getting the job done. And finally, check this out. If you wait for a roasted liver to cool, it will cool in somebody else's mouth. I love that one. It just perfectly captures his bias for action. You got to seize the moment, right? Grab the opportunity before someone else does. And believe me, that exact decisive mindset was about to be put to the ultimate test. So, with war now a certainty, the Asante high priest, the famous Okomfo Anoki, went to consult the gods. And what he came back with? Well, it was a prophecy that would change everything. And the price for their freedom? It was absolutely chilling. To guarantee a victory over the Denkyiras, one of their own leaders, one of their chiefs, had to willingly sacrifice his life right at the very start of the battle. The prophecy even said a special sacred medicine would mark the person destined for this fate. So, imagine hearing that. Who would step up? Well, faced with this terrible prophecy, one man stepped forward, and he did it without a moment's hesitation. Tweneboa Kodua. He said, "I'll do it. I will be the sacrifice." He volunteered to drink that sacred medicine, fully accepting what it meant. But, and this is so important, before he marched to his death, he went to see his king. Not to beg for his life, no. He went to negotiate, to secure the future for his people, and to make sure his own legacy would never be forgotten. So, he makes two requests. First, he asks that his state, Kumawu, be granted permanent immunity from capital punishment, a tribute to their loyalty. Second, he asks that his name will forever be sounded on the Atumpan talking drums as an homage. So you see, this wasn't just bravery. This was a masterclass in strategy. In his final moments, he secured an honored future for his people and made sure his own name would literally echo through history. And so Tweneboa Kodua fulfilled his vow. He went to the front lines and he fell on the battlefield. And just as the prophecy foretold, the Asante army was victorious. They won. They secured their independence. And what about that second request? Well, that came true too. See, the Atumpan aren't just drums. They're talking drums. They're literally the voice of the Asante culture. They communicate history, stories, proverbs. So his name wasn't just written in a book somewhere. No, it was woven into the very rhythm of the nation, a living story told on the drums for generations to come. So his sacrifice directly led to victory and independence. His successors were honored with the title Barima, which means brave man. His name is still sounded on those talking drums. He became more than a hero. He became the ultimate symbol of selfless leadership in Asante history. His legacy is just everywhere, woven right into the political and cultural fabric of his people. Which brings us back to that first question. What does a leader truly owe their people? The story of Tweneboa Kodua offers a pretty powerful answer. Maybe everything. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? What does true leadership ask of us? Right here,